You know that feeling when you scroll through a dozen espresso machines, see all those glossy photos of barista-style drinks, and think this is exactly what my kitchen needs. Then the package arrives, you plug it in, and the first cup tastes more like hot water than the rich crema you imagined. I've been there more than once, and that's why I'm doing this deep dive before you hit add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The TRABVVIJSC coffee maker espresso machine is marketed as a Al-Anon solution, espresso, milk frothing, and a cappuccino function, all packaged in a countertop footprint that promises barista-grade results at home. The first thing I did was look at how the machine fits into a real kitchen routine, not just the glossy ad copy. The unit sits on a standard 12-inch counter space, with a water reservoir that slides out from the back. Filling it feels straightforward, just pull the tank, pour, and click it back in. That design choice is nice because you don't have to bend over the back of the machine each time you refill, something I've seen cause spills with other models. When you power it up, the machine claims to have an overheat protection function, and that's actually noticeable. Within a minute the heating element reaches operating temperature, and the built-in sensor kicks in if the boiler gets too hot, automatically shutting off until it cools. In my tests, that prevented the dreaded boiling over scenario I've experienced with cheaper machines that just keep steaming regardless of temperature. The safety net is especially useful if you're distracted, say, you're juggling a toddler and a phone call while the espresso is brewing. Now, the real test: can it deliver a decent espresso without a separate grinder? The answer is a qualified yes. You load pre-ground coffee into the portafilter, tamp it lightly, and the pump pushes water through at a pressure that feels solid enough to extract flavor. The first shot I pulled had a thin layer of crema on top, which is a good visual cue that the extraction was working. It's not a caf-level crema, but for a home machine without a built-in grinder, it's respectable. If you already have a grinder, you'll notice the difference more clearly, because fresher beans will give you a richer taste. The steam wand is where the TRABVVIJSC tries to stand out. I ran a quick frothing session for a latte I was making for a friend visiting from out of town. The wand produces a steady stream of steam, and after about 20 seconds of whisking, the milk turned silky and held a small amount of foam, enough for a latte art attempt, even if you're not a professional. The texture isn't as airy as you'd get from a high-end machine with a commercial-grade wand, but it's far better than the bubble-only results you get from many entry-level units. For a weekend brunch, this level of froth is more than adequate. One hidden trade-off that shows up after a few uses is the size of the water tank. At roughly 1.5 liters, it's enough for a few drinks before you need to refill, but if you're entertaining a group of 6 and want to keep the coffee flowing, you'll be making trips to the sink. That's a small inconvenience, but it's something to consider if you plan to use the machine as the centerpiece of a small gathering. The drip tray also fills up quickly when you're pulling multiple shots in a row, so you'll need to keep an eye on it to avoid overflow. Cleaning is another practical aspect. The machine has a removable drip tray, and the portafilter can be rinsed under running water. The steam wand, however, requires a bit more attention. You have to purge it after each frothing session, and give it a quick soak in warm water every few uses to prevent milk residue from building up. If you're okay with a routine cleaning schedule, something most espresso owners already have, this isn't a deal breaker. But if you're looking for a set-it-and-forget-it device, the extra maintenance could become a nuisance. Who should buy this? If you're a coffee enthusiast who already owns a grinder and wants a compact machine that can produce espresso, cappuccino, and latte without taking up the space of a separate frother, the TRABVVIJSC fits the bill. It's also a solid gift idea for someone moving into their first apartment, or for a friend who enjoys experimenting with coffee drinks on the weekends. The machine's overheat protection, decent pressure, and usable steam won't give you a lot of bang for the price, especially compared to buying a separate espresso maker and frother. Who should skip it? If you run a small office or need to serve a steady stream of drinks during a morning rush, the limited water reservoir and manual cleaning steps might slow you down. Likewise, if you're a purist who expects caf-level crema and microfoam, you'll probably feel the machine falls short of that professional standard. Finally, anyone who doesn't already have a